Um, I've been looking at education inequity for a long time,
Mm,
more than a decade. I have seen NGOs try to tackle this. I've seen the government try to tackle this. I've seen teachers, schools try to tackle this. And there are some inspiring stories. There's some micro changes, localized changes, but it's so hard to scale changes,
mm,
not just nationwide, but through the region.
yeah.
It's that has always been a huge challenge. Okay, let's start. We're going to increase the number of teachers in schools by 10 times. This has never been possible, my friends. Never, right? But we're going to show you how today. But first, I'm going to start with something actually very depressing. This is the high school Form 4 math results of one of the largest schools in Malaysia, right? There are 15 Form 4 classes. And if you look at each of these Form 4 classes, right, 100% of this class had failed math. On the second class, 100% failed math. On the third class, 100% of kids failed math. 82% of the entire Form 4 cohort in this school had failed math. Now, we wouldn't be so concerned if this was one school. It's everywhere we go, right? We've visited dozens of schools, right? With schools in Klang, in Puchong, in Cheras, in Kuantan, in Negeri Sembilan, in Penang. They all show these results. And this is endemic all, not just in Malaysia, all around Southeast Asia, right? So Malaysia is ranked in the bottom third of PISA test scores. Thailand has the same issues as we do. Indonesia is actually doing worse. The question is, what is the problem? What is the root cause of all of this that if we try to fix, we have a fighting chance of improving our educational outcomes for our children? This, my friends, is the problem. This is 200 nuts, right? It's a lot. And from these 200 nuts, one teacher is expected to help all of them. One teacher. It's 5 classes of 40 kids. And when 80% of them are failing math, we have, my friends, given our teacher an impossible job. And we expect them to do a great job, right? So the first thing that we have to do is to increase the number of teachers by 10 times. And here's how we're going to do it through two solutions that we're deploying at the same time, right? The first is our AI Math Tutor. And we have also are scaling Tupai Friends. It's a peer learning community where friends help each other. Think of it like the Lions Club or Rotary Club or Scouts, but this is kids giving each other help. Let's talk about solution one first, right? Now, the Tupai AI Tutor, the strength of this tutor is that it holds the child's hand through learning math. The problem is when you have 80% of kids failing math, right? That means for most of these kids, they've been failing math for years. They've dropped the ball from years ago. So our system helps identify their gaps. It teaches their gaps. It motivates them and encourages them. In fact, with an AI, you could ask all the questions that you were too embarrassed to ask in class last time. A student can ask it today, and it preps students for exams. This is a student actually talking to Tupai, having a chat, taking a lesson. This is a student actually doing assessments. And if a student doesn't understand the problem questions that's posed, ask, right? Ask and ask and ask, right? This is exam prep. We've put in all the SPM exam papers onto our platform where students can actually try. And if they don't understand it, ask the AI. But here's the problem. Okay, look, technology has promised that it's going to change education for decades, right? We've had the radio come on, we've had TV come on, and people are saying, oh, now you can beam lessons to everybody. The internet exists, right? It was, 20 years ago. You have all the materials you need to learn anything, all the math you ever want. Why are 80% of students in Malaysia and heck, in Southeast Asia still failing math? What's going on? So, why hasn't technology changed schools? Because students need much more than a tool, they need someone to help them, to guide them. That's why we built Tupai and Friends. Tupai and Friends is a peer learning community where students stay back after school to help each other in math. These are the results that we got from this. This is their pre-program scores. So we did a pre-test. 7 months later, we did a post-test. And this, my friends, is without the involvement of teachers. This is literally from students helping each other. And the results improve in these two pilot schools in Klang from a fail to a B in this school, a fail to a C, right? Let me show you the results that we got with Tupai AI, not the Tupai and Friends community. In the Tupai AI, we got a corporate foundation to sponsor an entire Form 3 batch in one of the schools in Penang. Pass rates increased by 50% from the use of our AI. And scores, number of A's, B's, and C's went from 15 students, whole Form 3 cohort, to 100 students. So now we've combined the two. We've combined the use of an AI math tutor, and we've put it into Tupai and Friends as well. Now, not a single international platform has actually customized into the Malaysian syllabus. Not a single one. And not just Malaysia, it's Southeast Asia. Not a single international teaching platform has localized to Southeast Asian languages either. No one. And last unique selling proposition is that very few edutech companies actually go on the ground. Whereas we are building a scalable, sustainable community. Look, you see Lions Club everywhere. You see Rotary Club everywhere. You see Scouts everywhere. We're building scalable communities all around Malaysia. Okay, let's talk about market sizing. Back when I ran EduNation, we have 200 over 1,000 students. That's about 5% of the Malaysian student population. So if we replicate that and we sign up 200,000 Malaysian students, and we do this all over the region, what happens is we convert 5% of users into free users, and if we convert 5% of free users into paying users, our serviceable obtainable market is 21.8 million USD. And this is low, right? We've actually purposely put a low figure here. Okay, if you're asking about competition, well, guys, the reality is if more than 80% of students are failing math, the reality is there's not enough effective competition in the market. But people do ask, Pandai is actually one of the names that come out a lot, but we are actually fundamentally different, right? Pandai is a test prep platform, right? They are a practice platform, whereas ours is primarily a teaching platform. We hold the students' hands and we teach to their gaps. Okay, what's our go-to-market? What's our plan to reach 200,000 users in 2 years? B2B first, business-to-business sales. Our first product market fit is through corporate foundations. They are sponsoring a lot of accounts for students. We are on target to reach 800,000 in sales this year, and we expect to reach 2 million in sales next year. Currently, we have around 400,000 in sales already. So corporate foundations first, tuition centers and private schools next. We're already running a pilot in tuition centers, and we are already talking to private schools. Because not only have we launched the KSSM syllabus last year, we've launched IGCSE syllabus just 2 weeks ago. Right? So we're now busy talking to private schools. We're building communities. So imagine Tupai being in every major public school in Malaysia. And the last part, the most difficult part, is our B2C strategy when we're selling direct to students and parents. But that's right at the end, right? We expect to break even in 2027 with thereabouts 12,000 students. And this includes everything from B2B sales and B2C sales. Okay, so where are we now? Well, we just launched the Pitchin ECF campaign. Thanks for Pitchin for putting this up for us. We just expanded to IGCSE market 2 weeks ago. We expect to expand to a third market by middle of next year. Exactly which market we'll decide in January. And we expect to break even in 2027. We're raising between a minimum of 500,000 up to 1.5 million at a pre-money valuation of 12 million. We have already raised just over 2 million from some notable investors, actually. And you might actually know some of these. Right, so these are the investment plans. If you think this is a good idea, and if you think we can scale to help millions of children in the region, we have gotten results, not just from the deployment of AI tutors, but also from the community. And so now what we need to do is to scale. And so I'll end with this. What happens when students use Tupai for 400 to 500 minutes over 2 to 3 months? These are real students, right? And so what happens is on the system, we can see who uses the system the most, right? And so we interviewed these students. Nurul went from a G to a B. Ariana went from an E to a B. And just yesterday, we got news that our student communities that we're running in 3 schools have improved by 2 grade levels in 3 months. Right? And so we have the results already.